Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the CW. I've got a huge update because the CW is in crisis. It's all to do with Nexstar, so if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future DCTV videos later this year. So this video is for all of my Arrowverse followers. It's for all of you who have been staying up to date with the CW, figuring out what is going on at this network that has obviously been taken over by Nexstar. And I've been very critical of it in the last 2 years, I guess. I don't know exactly when they bought the CW, but basically we've been saying for a long time the CW is going to die because of what Nexstar is doing. And we've got a situation now with this news article from Variety confirming a report that Nexstar is being sued $1.2 million. I'll break down why they're getting sued that much and why this is a big deal in this video. Plus also we got some extra news later on to talk about. But if you didn't know, this has been coming for a while now because Nexstar is big and Nexstar owns a lot of the television stations around America, and there is this general overall rule that you can only own 39% maximum of America's television networks. And so this has been a long time coming because they have tried to deal with this, but they've kind of gone around it in a shady way. And I think for those of us who are ex-CW fans, obviously not really a CW fan anymore, I think after Superman and Lois ends with season 4 later this year, I'm not going to watch any CW shows, and I think most of you guys can agree. And so that's why we're staying up to date right now, because in a weird way, I am kind of rooting for stuff to go awry and things not to go well for Nexstar. So this news definitely hits in a different way. If this hit when Nexstar wasn't in charge of the CW and it was just Warner Brothers and Paramount, obviously I would feel really bad for them because they did so much good on this network. They created so many good shows, but for Nexstar I have no sympathy because they've just, killed the network, completely rebranding it, cancelling shows, ruining people's lives, and also just not thinking about the fans. And I feel like the fans are so important. So let's break down why Nexstar is being sued millions of dollars because of their shady business practices and why this is all happening. So the FCC has hit Nexstar Media Group, that being the owners of the CW, and its business partner Mission Broadcasting, who also own a lot of the different television networks across America. So those stations, so around America, you have different stations like WPIX TV in New York. That is a big one in New York that we're going to talk about in this video. For instance, Mission Broadcasting owned that, and so we're talking about those two entities, Mission and Nexstar, just to kind of set things up. And so they've been hit with a $1.2 million fine. That is a big fine. That's no small fine. That is, even in a $1 billion company, that's still a fairly substantial amount of money just to go down the drain because of their business practices. And so an order also has been said that they should sell the WPIX TV New York station or other stations to come into compliance with long-standing station ownership limits. So as I said, these television stations, these companies can't own more than 39% of America's television stations. And so the commission concluded that Nexstar's near total oversight of specifically this New York station and their operations gave the station giant effective control of precious TV industry real estate, a full power broadcast TV station in the nation's largest market, aka New York. And so the commission fined Mission $600,000, which is obviously a lot less. It's half the amount that Nexstar have to pay because they got fined $1.2 million. And so this has been a dust up that's been coming for a while. They've been battling this, that being Nexstar and the people in charge, the people actually putting out these fines. And so Nexstar basically acquired with $4.1 billion, which is huge, a company called Tribune Media in 2019. The deal made Nexstar the nation's largest owner of TV stations at nearly 200. Tribune's 42 stations including strong outlets in the nation's top 3 TV markets, including New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago. So it made Nexstar a big deal. It made them, the company that they are. Obviously they were a big company before, but basically this got their networks out to a lot more people because they own the television stations, and that is a big deal in America. Now, we don't have all of this in like Europe and everywhere. Like, I don't know exactly how it works, if it's the same, but I don't really get the impression that we have these television stations. And, you know, in England, for instance, the CW, if the CW was in England, it would just be like the CW going across like the whole country. But yeah, it's just a different situation in America. And so basically this deal, this acquisition that they did in 2019, put Nexstar well over the FCC's rule. As I said earlier, that's you can't have more than 39% of US TV households, and you know, the stations that are controlling those households. And Nexstar obviously were way over that rule, and so they had to act quick, and they sold a bunch of their different stations, including the New York one, and they sold it to Mission in 2020, which allowed Nexstar to keep more stations. But obviously they had this like business partnership with Mission, and that's where they're both getting fined now because they haven't fully done everything to protocol. And so with WPIX New York's 6.5% reach added to Nexstar's current portfolio, the company's total US footprint stands at about 45%, which is obviously 6% more than the FCC's official rules. So that is why the CW and Nexstar are in the mud. That's because the ownership at Nexstar hasn't, you know, taken the right actions in order to be like in the legal limit of the TV stations that they control. And so this statement that the FCC put out basically said that they must undertake one or two options within 12 months of this issue, and that is to either divest some of WPIX to an unrelated third party, so like a different business that has nothing to do with them, or Mission formally has to sell WPIX to Nexstar, and the parties have to file an application seeking commission consent to basically get a license for them to actually control this station. And so that's enough, you know, business talk. Like, I don't fully understand absolutely everything about this. I'll be completely honest with you guys. I'm just reporting to you what's going on at the CW, what's going on with Nexstar, their owners. And I just want to quickly talk about Perry Sook, who is Nexstar's chairman, so essentially the overlord of the CW. He said, "We are extremely disappointed in today's action by the FCC regarding our relationship with WPIX TV, and we intend to dispute it vigorously." Of course they would say that, that makes sense. They say, "We believe the FCC has been misled by the often distracting noise in the media ecosphere, and that it has completely misjudged the facts." So they are blaming the media, which is just kind of crazy. And I think this just goes to prove where Nexstar stand. Like, they blame everyone else, and you know, they never look at themselves as the problem. Like, that is the big thing right now with their strategy on the CW, is a huge problem that they've caused by themselves. The CW, yes, wasn't profitable before, but at least it had some valuable content. Like, people actually liked the network, and under Nexstar, like, their value has been extremely diminished. And so that he goes on to say, "The facts are that Nexstar has always complied with the FCC regulations." I don't know if that's true, because if you look at all reports, according to this Variety report, they are way over. They are 6% over. That is a fairly substantial amount over, and so they have to follow these rules, but they're not doing that, and obviously that's just down to them. So they're going to have to sort this out very, very soon, within the next 12 months since this ruling was actually made. And obviously this is going to have an effect if they have to pay this $1.2 million fine. And I really wonder how this is going to basically trickle down to the stuff that the Nexstar Media Corporation obviously owns. Because if Nexstar doesn't sort their shit out, like, it's just not going to be good for networks like the CW, which they actually own. So let me know down in the comments below, what do you guys think of all of this? Obviously, this is just me reporting on the business news, and it's nothing too much to do with like the Arrowverse, or particularly to do with anything to do with DC. But I think for now it's very interesting to keep up to date with what's happening with the CW, because I don't think that everyone is keeping super up to date. So I like to keep you guys informed, especially the Arrowverse fans that watch my channel, because we are all going to be lining up to see Superman and Lois when it comes out on the CW in the fall later this year. But obviously the CW has gone very much so against the fans. It's not the network that we once knew, and I'm pretty sure with what is happening with Nexstar, they're going to have to sell the CW, or they're going to just have to kill off the CW at some point, just because I don't think this is going to work for them. Like, it's not going to be profitable. It's going to take such a long time to turn things around in terms of their money, and considering Nexstar is not in like the best situation themselves, like, it's just not looking very viable for now. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to leave a like and a comment, and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. Remember guys, I upload daily pretty much at the moment, so tomorrow we're going to have a live stream. Come check it out, 10 PM UK time, which is 6 PM Eastern Standard Time in New York. So come join us live tomorrow with some special guests. But for now, you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.
I see red.